and it's going to have share in some way the happiness the body has, health or something. It's going to share in that happiness. Okay, that's going to be its happiness. It's the happiness of the body, the health. So too, then, according to St. Thomas, the comparison he made with man, he's going to find his happiness in the system. That's where his happiness is going to have to exist.
Get it.
Right?
Yep.
Not just his happiness, but if you're following St. Thomas's train. Does that make sense to anyone?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, the hand thing might be weird, but I thought it was a nice way to see that when the hand's protecting the body, it's not the good of something else. It's still the hand's good to protect the body. And I think that's going to be important. Because I'm saying then that happiness is ordered, our happiness as an individual is found only in the system.
Right.
Or a government. So government actually isn't an evil thing, but it's something that perfects things. And that's where I'm going to have happiness as much as I can on earth have. And that's the good to which law is looking towards, right? Because law has to look towards human happiness. Right? Did he? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. How does this relate to the division or God? For example, whatever the city does is determined to be good, then is that what the common good is? It's the good of the city? So, like, I'm surprised none of you have rallied up against me and mentioned communism or something like that, right? Enslaving people for the sake of the common good, the greater good, something like that.
I've started this.
Well, voice your opinions then. Voice your concerns and fight with each other. Or fight with me.
Oh, well, if we're going to start a discussion on something like that, I was thinking, like, I do not think this was, like, St. Thomas is talking about a society that has head on straight, whereas, like, the society we live in now doesn't necessarily, like, now it's for the common good, quote-unquote, that you can go ahead and kill your unborn baby. And how is that even good for everyone? It's not good for actually anyone. It's not good for the baby. They don't have a say at all, and it's not good for the mother either. So it's, even though it's portrayed as a common good, it isn't for anyone.
I think you have to understand that St. Thomas is talking about, like, you know, the perfect community, the perfect society.
Right. I'm just saying, like, it's
Yeah, but I don't think that there has ever been a perfect community or a perfect society, so I don't think that makes sense.
No, I agree with you.
No, there hasn't.
What is it? I don't think St. Thomas is talking about utopia. Either. So, I mean, what of it now, guys? St. Thomas grossly mistaken here? Or we've seen the...
Is he referring...
Or what would you guys say? Because is it first of all agreed that's what St. Thomas is saying? Because if that's not agreed, we can go back there.
Is the perfect community the church?
Yeah. Is it the church?
What did we say the perfect community was? Or did I?
The city. The city. It just seems like if we follow that there's never been, like we're talking about our government right now, not being for the real common good because it's screwed up, but, like, has there ever been a perfect community or city?
To me, the church seems like it is a community. It has laws. It has a whole book, a whole catechism that is laws of what to do and what not to do.
But it's not...
It's not government, though, in the sense we're speaking of.
Where perfect is in line with God, or perfect as a complete or self-sufficient? So, I mean, that's why we started that segue. Maybe I shouldn't have talked about it where we did. That might have been more confusing at that particular point in the conversation. But, yeah. What do we mean by was perfect? Something like perfectly in line with God's will? That seems to be kind of where we're tending to. We say there's never been a perfect society as in one that's fully subordinated to God or something. Or do
Well, I
you
guess earlier, yeah, we defined perfect as complete or whole, so it doesn't necessarily have to be, perfect, as in, yeah, completely in line with God's will. It just, yeah, I guess what you were saying, like,
Well, I
sufficient.
wasn't saying that our government was imperfect because it's not in line with God's will, but because it's not full and it's not like it's not up to its full potential because of like laws that we have.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like obviously that there's the two definitions of perfect to begin with, like the perfection according to God and then perfection according to wholeness. But even like a lot of societies nowadays aren't perfect in their wholeness because they aren't following a common good.
that you are finding your own good in there too, right? Not a. Well, actually, I have a question. Matthew, you were uncharacteristically quiet. What happened?
There's like 2 of him in the participant list.
There are.
Maybe that's why. Oh, my, what's going? I have not heard from Matthew. Well, okay. Oh, he's typing now. No, we can't hear you.
Nope, we can't hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Okay,
Yes.
I can
hear
hear you now.
ya.
You're uncharacteristically quiet on this whole discussion.
Oh,
I now know why.
no, I've been lagging out for like 5 minutes at a time because of poor internet. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
I'm missing everything important that's being said.
Oh, you missed everything important. That's fine. Anyone want to recap? Maybe Marcella. I think you want to get in on this. You're sitting on the sidelines, eagerly watching like an intense tennis match. Why don't you go in, Matthew? Oh, she's typing this and her microphone isn't working. See, look how good I am at predicting these. All right, any takers who want to try to summarize what we just said for Matthew?
Where are we at?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
Well,
what I
we
wanna
just-
hear. Let's go.
Where did Matthew leave us would help.
Yeah, really?
Well, I think the
We're going
last
to
part we
fight on
talked about.
some other thing.
Did you hear the discussion about whole and parts, Matthew?
Sure, okay, I have thoughts on that. St. Thomas is very particular and exact.
I think so too. I agree with that statement. He is very, very concise in his language.
We get to agree.
But I guess all I was saying is, like people brought up in the beginning, man is a part of a perfect society as an imperfect part of a perfect society. Because the perfect society was the city or the state. And then we considered with whole and part how the part is finding its good in the good of the whole, much like the hand finds its good in the good of the body, which is its whole. Such that if the body were to perish, the hand perishes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then we said, well, man, he's kind of like the hand in our analogy. That's the direct comparison to St. Thomas, right? He didn't use hand, but I did. It's weird, whatever. But he's going to find his happiness in the city, right? That's where his happiness lies. Just like the hand's happiness or goodness is in line with goodness and happiness of the body, so is man's happiness and goodness in line with goodness and happiness of the city. And then some people voice the concern, Mary Catherine, about worship in the city, right? And then I think that brings us all up to date on what's happening. And I asked, how does God work into this whole thing? Which I tried to segue into this conversation, which albeit wasn't successful. So, anyone else going to voice concern? The startling conclusion we reached?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. guys all go, I want you to keep this in mind. Communism had a tendency to make the common good not the good of any individual, right? So the good somewhere, it was someone else's good. It wasn't the good of each of the members acting in society, right? They were actually kind of new. Now, St. Thomas's notion of common good here, it's still good for the hand, right? Whatever happens to the body, it's finding its good. It's not some other good of the hand. That's why I brought up that example. So that should help you a little bit with to show why his common good is not the common good of communism or something abstract like that. Because essentially, communism makes it someone else's good, right? It's the good of the elite few, or good for the state, or good for the whole, but it's not good for any of the individual members in it, right? Unlike what we're saying here, is that the common good is good for each of the individual members as well. There's no real opposition. This comes out a lot in St. Thomas's second objection, which seems to be, in the way common is used here, there's no opposition between it being both a common good and an individual good, because remember we said there's a good that's common by its possession. By having it, other people have it too. For the justice of the well-ordered society. And then the second thing I'm going to leave us with is just because this doesn't mean that this common good of the city can't be ordered to further common good. God is the most common and ultimately our truest, highest form of happiness. So we can talk more next class about examples or kind of consequences of this doctrine of St. Thomas, that all laws have to the common good. We can look at various different laws that we can make up. Maybe Jonathan can help us out on these. Maybe we can actually have real laws. And it can be asked whether they're actually really ordered to the common good or not. Because if they're not, according to St. Thomas, they're not really laws. Because all laws have to be ordered to the common good. So I think we're going to start next class with that. Hopefully we won't go too long in it. And then afterwards, we're going to do both Articles 3 and 4. They're a lot easier than this stuff, okay? Articles 1 and 2, incredibly dense. Right? So many things you had to get clear before you can even talk about the article. 3 and 4, we can knock them out. Bam, bam. It'll be quick. So, homework for next time is do Articles 3 and 4. Prepare for class. And we're going to talk a little bit about various laws we bring up and use St. Thomas' definition to determine whether they're actually laws or not. Okay? Any questions?
I have a quick question. Sorry, go ahead.
Do we send a summary of the second article to you before next class?
Yep, that was my question.
Right. Ideally, I'd get the article, the summaries in by Friday. Kind of what I want. So, yeah, hopefully by Friday you guys should have had enough time. And remember, I don't need the whole article summarized. I just need the respondeo. That's all we talked about in class. That's all I'm expecting you guys to actually do. Okay?
Okay,
So,
I need your email.
you need my email.
Yeah.
Here, let me write it right here. Oh. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, I did get me good. Alright, and it's already 10 minutes past. You guys will take me right now. Alright, any other questions? No? Sounds sent. You're free to go, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Bye.